अच्छा जी, सस्टेनेबल लाइवलीहुड्स। What do we mean by sustainable livelihoods? So why all the noise about SL? SL means sustainable livelihoods. क्या वजह है कि livelihoods आप, if you see the international literature, more discussion is about livelihoods, yeah, sustainable livelihoods. So why all this noise about the livelihoods? क्यों we are getting serious about poverty? What we have done in the past has not been too successful. Search for something effective. हमने डिस्कस किया था पहले भी that poverty is a very broad concept. There are various types of poverty. There are various factors of poverty. इसलिए अभी तक हम poverty reduction में इतने ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो सकी जो वर्ल्ड कम्युनिटी है. So initially direct impact on poor. पहले जो कंसेप्ट था पॉवर्टी रिडक्शन का कि डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट ऑन पुअर होना चाहिए, लेकिन लेटर मोर एनालिटिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, यानी हमने जो पिछले वीक में पॉवर्टी के बारे में डिस्कस किया था कि पहले पॉवर्टी किसको कहते थे, ओनली द इनकम पर कैपिटा, लेकिन बाद में जब फर्दर रिसर्च हुई और फर्दर इसमें कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आई तो पता चला कि इट इज poverty is a very complex and there are many factors which affect the poverty. Poverty का मतलब सिर्फ income generation ही नहीं है, there are various other factors. Poverty हम कैसे कहते हैं, मतलब poverty जो है वो income या GDP नहीं है, it is the human development. Human development में हमने डिस्कस किया था कि there are three main components of human development. कौन कौन से component है, किसी को याद है अभी? ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट के तीन जो मेन कंपोनेंट थे वो हेल्थ, एजुकेशन, हाँ, और इनकम. तो तीन चीजें हैं कि हेल्थ, एजुकेशन और जो इनकम है, ये तीनों चीजें दीज आर दी ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट. उसका मतलब है कि पॉवर्टी सिर्फ इनकम तक की नहीं है, पॉवर्टी इज ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट. सो इट इज नॉट मीन टू सर्वाइव. मतलब पॉवर्टी का मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि आप डे टू डे बेस पे सर्वाइव, बट द कैपेसिटी टू थ्राइव. मतलब पॉवर्टी रिडक्शन का मतलब है कि आप में कैपेसिटी हो कि आप अपने आप को फर्दर प्रमोट कर सकें, थ्राइव कर सकें द चैलेंजेस ऑफ द लाइफ. उसका मतलब है कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, लोगों के बारे में सोचना चाहिए. तो नॉट बीइंग पुअर मीन, हम उसे कैसे कहते हैं कि पुअर नहीं है, that people can sustain the capabilities, assets and activities required for a means of living. हमने पढ़ा था कि लोगों में कुछ एसेट्स होते हैं, 5 तरह के एसेट्स रिक्वायर्ड हैं, कैपेबिलिटीज रिक्वायर्ड हैं कि वो अपने एसेट्स को यूज कर सकें, एंड दे नीड सम एक्टिविटीज बेस्ड ऑन देयर assets and capability they possess. They need activities to make their living. And secondly, should have ability to cope with stresses and shocks. उनमें इतनी ability होनी चाहिए that they can cope with the stresses and shock. यानी एक तीन चीजें, capabilities, assets and activities. So three things are required for any person, any individual, any community to make their living. They should have enough capability to use their assets, and assets should be transformed into the activities, meaningful activities. And secondly, there are some shocks and stress in life. Shocks may be disease, accident, floods, earthquake. There are many shocks. So the people should have ability to cope, to mitigate, to fight with the challenges of different types of stresses and shocks. Or they can maintain and enhance those capabilities and assets. So if someone has assets, they should have capabilities to enhance these assets, to enhance these capabilities. कि वो वक्त गुजरने के साथ साथ बढ़ती जाएं, खत्म ना हो. And without the natural resource base, and इसके साथ साथ हमने एक sustainability में discuss किया था that natural resources are not only for this generation, they are also for the future generations to come. Because they are, so if we are using natural resources unsustainably, then it means that we are compromising the need of the future generation. Our future generation will become poor. So अगर हम आज, तो this is the overall characteristics of livelihoods. So these are the four main characteristics: capabilities, assets, and activities. Second, to cope with stresses and shocks, and then enhance the capabilities and without undermining natural resource base. The sustainable livelihood approach is simply putting these principles into practice. इसके बाद है sustainable livelihood का sustainable livelihood की definition जो है वो, this is the definition of sustainable livelihood overall. Okay. People can sustain the capabilities, assets, and activities, ability to cope with stresses and shocks, maintain and enhance those capabilities, and without undermining the natural resource base. Sustainable livelihood approach is simply putting these principles into practice. उसके बाद एक sustainable livelihood का framework suggest किया है, which help us think holistically about things that poor might be very vulnerable to. Vulnerable mean vulnerable people, those are in danger, at risk, risk of shocks, risks of stresses. Then sources that help them to thrive and survive, policies and institutions that impact on their livelihoods, and how people respond to threats and opportunities, and what sort of outcome the people aspire. So these components are part of the sustainable livelihood framework. This is the sustainable livelihood framework. Throughout this course, we will study this framework again and again. So you should have good idea about what do we mean by sustainable livelihood framework. So first of all, vulnerability context. Vulnerability mean at risk, at danger, danger of shocks, trends, and seasons. भी अपने माइक ऑफ करें, जिनका माइक ऑन है अपने माइक ऑफ करें, म्यूट करें, म्यूट करें भी माइक अपना. So first is the vulnerability context. Then second component is livelihood assets. Then policies, institutions, and processes, livelihood outcomes, and livelihood strategies. We will discuss these components one by one. So these are the livelihood assets. Then we have vulnerability context, which affect the livelihood assets. Then there are policies, institutions, and processes, which are very important in human life, which two-way they affect or they are affected by the livelihood assets, and they also have impact on the vulnerability context. Then based on assets or livelihood capitals, these are 5 types of assets: human, natural, financial, physical, and social. These are 5 types of assets, and based on these assets and through certain structures and processes, government policies, government law, private sector, the people, they develop their livelihood strategies. Livelihood strategies इन सारी डिपेंड करती हैं. एंड अल्टीमेट आउटकम क्या होता है किसी भी इंडिविजुअल का या ग्रुप का? सस्टेनेबल यूज ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्स, मोर इनकम, better well-being, reduce vulnerability, and better food security. So this is the ultimate outcome of the livelihoods of any person. So these are five components of sustainable livelihood framework. One component is vulnerability context. Second is livelihood assets. Third is policies and institutions. Fourth is livelihood strategies. And fifth is livelihood outcome. So we will discuss these components one by one. So first component is the vulnerability context. Vulnerability, as I mentioned earlier, it means having at risk. Risk of what? These are three types of risks or dangers: shocks, trends, and seasons. So vulnerability context is external environment in which people exist. So vulnerability means it is the external environment. It is outside of our control. For example, if there is flood, it is external environment. It is not in our control. If there is any other natural disaster, or for example, it is inflation, price hike, outbreak of disease, livestock disease, this is all external environment in which people exist. So there are three types of vulnerability context. First of all, trends. Trends are the long-term risks which may be positive or negative. For example, population trend. Population is increasing day by day, and we have to manage our requirement, meet our expenses within the same resources. The land is the same, but population is increasing. Water resources are decreasing, population is increasing. So this is the trend, which is the a source of vulnerability. Higher the population, more vulnerable will be the people. Similarly, resource trend, natural resources are decreasing, land, water, air is being polluted, water is being polluted, wildlife is being depleted, minerals and natural gas and oil reserves, they are decreasing. So this is the trend. Economic trend, long term, the growth percentage, it's not the governors, technology. These are all different types of trends. Second type of external environment, yeah, second type of vulnerability in which people exist, these are the shocks. So shocks are the sudden outbreak of any risk or factor of vulnerability. शॉक क्या हो सकते हैं? इलनेस हो सकती है, नेचुरल डिजास्टर लाइक फ्लड, लाइक earthquake और एनी अदर नेचुरल डिजास्टर. इकोनॉमिक डिजास्टर, अचानक चीज़ों की प्राइस बढ़ जाए या अचानक जो है वो इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी स्लो डाउन हो जाए किसी भी वजह से. कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स, लड़ाई झगड़े शुरू हो जाए, वॉर, crop and livestock pests and diseases. So these are all called as the shocks. Shocks are the short term or sudden outbreak of any danger or risk. Trend is the long term. Population is increasing slowly. So it will have very long term time impact. Resources are depleting, and we can predict that after 5 year, 10 year, 10, 20 year, what would be the condition of natural resources. Similarly, economic trend. If the country is progressing, then gradually they are coming out of the economic disaster, or if otherwise, then they are gradually going down. Governance trend. Technology is gradually increasing. We can predict that after 5 year, 10 year, what would be the technological trends. But shocks are sudden. Sometimes these cannot be predicted, or these are the very short term. Illness, अचानक कोई बीमार हो जाए, any bread earner or income generation person of a family can become ill. Natural disaster, earthquake को की prediction नहीं हो सकती. Floods जो हैं वो आ जाती हैं, control करना मुश्किल है. Economic disaster, conflict, and disease and pest of livestock. So these also affect the people. Then we have seasons. Season means those factors of vulnerability, those risks which are seasonal, which come for a particular time of the year and then disappear. Then again, they will appear in the next season. For example, prices. So we know that during some particular time of the year, price of essential commodities become higher. जब भी कोई, for example, in our case, during Ramzan month, the price of every food item become very escalated, very high. The essential item, that means that at that season, poor becomes more poor. They have to spend more money to purchase the essential item. Similarly, in some areas, when there are extreme weathers, for example, in the mountainous area, when there are snowfall, the price of items become higher. And also when there are shortage of some items, the price become higher. Jase nowadays, the price of tomatoes, price of ginger and many vegetables, which is many times higher. But after certain time, these prices become normal. So this is the seasons. Production season, health season. During some seasons, the health become deteriorated, particularly health of the small infants or children. Whenever the weather is changing, तो बच्चों में जो है वो बीमारियां पैदा हो जाती है. इसका मतलब है कि the person have to spend more money to buy the medicines of their children. तो वो season जब गुजरता तो everything become normal. Similarly, employment season during some months, particular months of the year, employment opportunities become higher, and during particular months of the year, employment opportunities become lower, particularly for the laborer and daily wage जो class है, उनके लिए साल के कुछ महीनों में उनको employment मिलती है, कुछ महीनों में नहीं मिलती. Again, this for example in mountainous area where there is extreme snowfall and cold, और उनका जो livelihood they depends on, for example, tourism and other activities. During harsh weather, their employment opportunities become very minimal. And when the weather is becoming normal, then their employment opportunities have more. So these are three types of external environment. Trend is the long term, shocks are the short term or sudden, and season which are repeated in the after particular period of time. So this is called as the vulnerability context. जो three चीजें हैं इसमें हमने डिस्कस की. Second component of sustainable livelihood is livelihood capitals or assets. So these are the 5 types of assets. इनको हमने पढ़ा हुआ है. Human assets, natural assets, financial, physical and social. Assets क्या होते हैं? Capital भी कहते हैं. First of all, human capital or human asset, which are the personal assets of a person. Skill, knowledge and information, ability to work and health. So these are the human assets, which are the personal, which a person can develop. You can develop your skill, you can develop your knowledge base. If you are healthy and you have ability to work, this is your human capital. This is the first type of assets, which is the most important. That is the human asset or human capital. Second is the natural capital or natural asset. Land, water, wildlife, biodiversity, environment, air. These are all natural capitals. Some of the capitals are free for everybody, for example, environment, biodiversity. So these are the natural capital. Forest is also a natural capital. Trees, forest, land, which are naturally existent. Then third type of capital is the financial capitals. These are the saving, income, remittances, salary, pension, so which is in the form of the cash. This is called as the natural financial capital or financial assets. Then fourth type of capital is the physical capital. ये हमने पढ़ा था लास्ट लेक्चर में. There are two types of physical capital. One is the personal possessings, and second is the physical public infrastructure. Public infrastructure like transport, electricity, school, colleges, hospitals, roads, bridges, communication network. So this is the public infrastructure. This is the public physical capital, which has to be provided by the state. Then there is some personal possessions like shelter, house, like vehicle for the transport, livestock. So this is all the physical capital. And final type of capital is the social capital. Social capital means networks, groups, trust, access to wider institutions. So this is the social capital. मतलब आपकी जो दूसरे लोगों के साथ networking है. If a person has good relationship with some influential people, this is his capital. If a person belongs to a particular group, particular political party, particular non-governmental organizations, this is his or her social capital. So these are 5 types of capitals or assets: human, natural, financial, physical, and social. So we will discuss in next lecture or next week in detail about these 5 of assets. So this lecture is for your general overview at what are different components of sustainable livelihood framework. एक कंपोनेंट हमने डिस्कस किया है vulnerability context. उसमें 3 चीजें हैं: shocks, trends and season. And second component we have discussed livelihood capital or assets. So we discussed 5 types of assets: human, natural, financial, physical and social. Now we come to the policies and institutions. So what do we mean by policies and institutions? People access to livelihood assets is affected by policies and institutions. For example, if you want to improve your knowledge, if you want to improve your human assets through some skill or through education, you have to get admission in some formal institution. आप किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लेंगे, गवर्नमेंट में किसी कॉलेज में एडमिशन लेंगे, या किसी ना किसी जो स्किल लर्निंग सेंटर है, you will get admission. So you have to pass through certain process. Then you will be able to get admission. So access to livelihood assets is affected by policies and institutions. या इनको हम transforming structures and processes भी कहते हैं. So we will discuss these terminology in detail in the later lecture. But now you have to have an idea that what do we mean by policies, structures and processes. What are the structures? Structures are organizations, level of government, private sectors. For example, university is a structure, different level of government, local government, provincial government, federal government. They have their and ministries within the government. They are the structure. Yeah, private sector are different जो companies हैं. They are the structure. Organizations यानी structure कहते हैं. और process के किसे कहते हैं? Policies, laws, institutions. These are the processes. For example, university is an organization. It is a structure. But university is run through certain policies and laws. These policies and laws are called as the processes. So both of these are called as the transforming structures and processes because they are always transforming, they are always changing. Level of government, for example, Ministry of Agriculture, it is a structure. भाई माइक बंद करें अपना. Ministry of Agriculture, they have their structure. उनका एक वजीर है, secretary, director general, they have offices, they have their all resources, but they have some policies and laws to run this ministry. Two different aspects, structures and processes. Then we have livelihood strategies. Livelihood strategies mean what people do. ज़ाहिर है, जो भी रिसोर्सेज हैं, जो भी कैपिटल है, उसकी बेस पे आप कोई ना कोई एक्टिविटी डेवलप करेंगे. So livelihood strategies can be natural resource based. For example, farming is a natural resource based livelihood activity, and non-natural resource or off-farm activities. So these are two types of livelihood strategies. Natural resource based, farming, fishing, forest related activities. All these activities are natural resource based, and there are non-natural resource based. For example, business, employment in some organization, going to other countries for earning the income, migration. So these are non-natural resource based or off-farm activities. Migration remittances, intensification versus diversification. Some people, particularly natural resource based activity, they are either intensified on single activities. For example, अगर एक farmer है, वो they are farming in the cotton and wheat system. So every year they will grow cotton and wheat, cotton and wheat. This is intensification. Or diversification, if they have some piece of land, then they are utilizing some piece for vegetable, some fruit, and then cotton. It is diversification. If you are relying on the single source and intensively using this single source, then it is intensification. And if you have different type of multiple activities, then it is the diversification. It can be non-natural resource based. अगर एक household में they are only relying on, for example, employment, then it is intensification. But if they have multiple activities like employment, they are also doing business, they are also have some family member who is working outside of the country, remittances. So this is diversification. Competition and strategies can be short term or long term. And finally is the livelihood outcome. Outcome क्या होता है? What people are seeking to achieve. Final result, final objective, more sustainable use of natural resource base, more income, increased well-being, reduced vulnerability, improved food security. So these are the livelihood outcomes. So this is the overall sustainable livelihood framework. तो अभी इस क्या क्योंकि टाइम खत्म होने लगा, we will